Great result for us today. Obviously it was quite the process to get there. First off, incredible atmosphere. I got to hand it to our folks here, Maisha and Jordan Semmel. I thought they did a tremendous job. Great energy in the crowd. The athletes that are here on campus and the fans. I think this was really unique and really fun. Part of me wishes we could do this all the time. Part of me wishes we could pull that off. But the other part of me realizes that that's not doable. But really just proud of our effort. I think if you were to watch the first 38 minutes, I think you'd see most of the time that we probably, I'd say we didn't deserve to win, but I hate saying that American didn't deserve to win the game. I think they did everything that they were supposed to do. They moved the basketball well. Kinnison was an incredible tough cover, and they were comfortable, but I thought they made plays. They did a really, really good job. They had great calls from the bench there. We just kind of found a way to stay close, and I thought at the end of the third quarter, things were starting to get away from us a little bit. We think we're holding for one, and I think we were maybe down 7 there. I thought we were going to hold for one, and they got 2 free throws at the end of the quarter, and then that was a huge 3, for Kai to come back down, and she had been struggling. For her to get that, see the ball go through the net, I think helped her in the fourth quarter, but for us to cut it, I think we cut that to 6, maybe 5, 6 at that point, and that's a lot less daunting going into the final quarter, being down 6 than 9, and I think we even got the ball to start the quarter, which is another advantage for us. So incredibly proud of the effort. I don't think we did everything perfect today. I think they took a lot of things away. We may have been a hint tired, and I hate to say understandable, but obviously coming off the stretch that we've had without an off day, coming back from Army. Maybe it would have played a little bit of a factor, but to be honest with you, I think this was just, American played fantastic today. And, no matter what, I think we closed the gap. I think we even took the lead right away at the end of the beginning of the first half, beginning of the second half. But they made shots, and it was just a really, really tough cover for us today. It reminds me of when we played them here in the playoff game last year. I think we exhausted every single defensive call that we had, and probably pretty similar to us today. So a credit to them. That was a great game. I'm sure they feel good about some things and feel that maybe they could have gotten this one. But for us to come out with the W, that's a huge credit to these two that are sitting right here, but also the rest of this group.
I knew Lauren Crystal's a great player, so I knew that she was going to post up and try to get a shot off, but I knew I couldn't follow her. I had to just be straight up and try to block the shot or just try to affect her shot, and somehow I did. So it was great that we got the ball back and we were able to get into overtime after.
For us, and not that coaching is a sales job, but the last thing I was going to tell them is these guys are seasoned in overtime, and they've been through 5 or 6 of these so far, and they're going to feel pretty comfortable. So for me, it was going in there, and I don't mean this in any way take anything away from American, but I think it's hard when you kind of feel like you maybe had your chance and had a few chances in overtime, and we kind of sneakily found a way to extend the game. We've been on both ends of that, and I think we felt that we had a little bit of momentum. We found a way to get the tip, and we liked the matchup. I think some of this was Sune in foul trouble, Kate in foul trouble, but we liked the matchup that we had down there with Debs. We maybe weren't as effective, from maybe the coaching side or at least the post entries to take advantage of it. We ran a play to make sure that she was going to get a chance, and she went and got it, finished with the left hand, and kind of got us that cushion. And then, for us, we just wanted to make sure that we were aggressive. I think that was so much of that first half is just the lack of aggression, lack of energy, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't start that way in overtime. So we went to kind of the trapping zone right there. We were able to get a steal. I think we scored maybe on that next possession. I know we were able to get it to 4. I don't know if it was that possession or not. But my goal there was to try to get them on their heels and realize, and for our kids to know that we were going to be in attack mode, but also hopefully as best you can send that message down to the other side.
Well, I saw the ball go through the hoop when I finished it with my left hand there. So we drew up a play, and I popped out, and I felt like I was wide open. So I was like, I should just take this shot because I had a little more confidence. I was like, why not? And luckily it went in and extended the lead a little bit. So I was feeling good after that.
I think for us, we talked about trying to get them to be uncomfortable. I think this is maybe, I don't know how much this is on us, maybe a credit to them. I thought they took care of the basketball very well, and they ran their stuff. And their stuff is really hard to guard. And, for especially maybe some of the matchups that we had, I wouldn't say they necessarily were taking the exact shots that we wanted, but they were making a lot of mid-range jump shots. And, you kind of have to tip your cap to somebody that's shooting the ball that well. There's only so many different things that you can do to take away a player. And I know it wasn't a whole lot of them scoring at the basket. We took away the arc for the most part. The whole game, they were popping out. And when kids are hitting 19-foot jump shots, analytics aside, you got to kind of tip your cap a little bit and give them some credit. Now, I think on our side, a lot of those are just a little bit too uncontested. I think those kids are very capable shooters. Some of the kids that were making those shots are kids that we talk about. You got to take that away, maybe make them put the ball on the floor, which I think we weirdly, when we went to the zone, I felt like we kind of bothered them a little bit more. I don't know how much the actual press bothered them, but I think it kind of took them out of the flow. Convinced myself of that, but hopefully it took them out of the flow a little bit. But I think it got our kids to be a little more energetic. I think that sometimes it's just a mindset, I hate to say trick, but just a mindset change that we got to get our kids going on. Yeah, I mean, I think for us it was just a little bit of, Deb's had a few chances earlier, and she made some tough shots. I think that one to start the second half was a tough shot. I know Deb's was on her, but I think we felt when we could go big, we kind of changed the way that we defended ball screens, and that was a little bit of it. I think so much of it earlier was Kinnison coming off the ball screens, and sounds great in theory that you're trying to maneuver your way through the screen, and I think some of our guards struggled with that today. And I think when we were able to go with a little bit bigger kid, that pull-up jump shot, it's a little bit tougher to shoot that thing over a 6'1" Claire DeBoer than maybe it was with some of the other matchups. And I think we were able to bother with our screen defender a little bit more than we were earlier in the game.
I think I was just posting up hard, and they were playing behind me, so the ball could get in easily. And when I got the ball, it seemed like the baseline was open every time. And then later in the game, I noticed that they were not letting me just sit on them and post them up, but they were moving around me and trying to get in front, and always they just kept moving their feet, so it was harder for me to pin them down. I was kind of glued to her. I didn't really help off of her that much, and I tried to be right in her face on the catch. I think it worked most of the time. There was a few where I wasn't there, but that's what I tried to do, and luckily I don't think there was only a couple times where they took advantage of me not helping off of her. So.